Welcome back to another CCL game day. We're back again for a second season. Who would have thought? Who would have thought it, right, guys? We've got some friendly faces returning. Not you, K-Bot. Not you. Not us. Not us. We got some your familiar faces here. You got K-Bot and 3Z Breezy joining us back. And we've got a new face on the call. We got Borg. Borg, how you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. Got my, formal little comfort attire on right now. I always wear this when I'm at home. I just really feel at home right now. Finally back on the CCL broadcast. I was there for a week, last time. Felt like something's been missing since then. And I really think this has been it. So I'm excited to get into some of this, CCL goodness. Of course. And 3Z, the drip is insane. It looks like you just fell off a boat. My goodness.
Hey, I wish I fell off a boat. Then I'd be scuba diving.
Hey, there you go. K-Bot, any scuba diving in the off season for you, or has it just been business as normal?
I mean, we've had decent weather here in the Midwest, but I'm still landlocked, so scuba diving is not exactly there. Yeah, been business as usual. You can see how seriously I'm taking the next season of CCL. I've played a grand total of 0 games since the end of the last season.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And I think I don't know yet, but I think I'm role swapping this season. So that'll be fun.
Fun.
Yeah. We're going to have a good time this season.
I'm liking it. When it comes to my team, Texas Tech has been improving through the offseason, and the Swiss Gods have challenged us by facing us off against UCLA and 3Z Breezy week 1. 3Z, do you have any words about that?
Hey, I mean, it's gonna be a fun match. Looking forward to seeing Surplus out there on the goalie position. I'll do my best not to KO you, but yeah, we're gonna have a fun one.
Hey, it's very appreciated. Very appreciated. Thank you, 3Z.
Dylan's gonna have to coach his goalie to go up against Water Fury, who's just a beast.
I know,
So,
Firebird. If you're listening to this right now, good luck. Study Water Fury. Study Bros every move. All right.
Water versus fire.
I know.
Whoa.
Wait, yes. Water versus fire. What? This is like Pokemon, bro. My goodness, or Power World. Whatever.
Almost send a diamond. Tell me send a DM my way, not a diamond.
Send a DM your way.
I don't coach diamonds. I coach below or above. Send a DM my way. We'll get it sorted out. Water Fury will not last long.
There we go. All right. You know what? We'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow before practice and stuff. But anyway, we're back. Vaughn will be with us again week 2, but right now he's in Japan. So the time zones didn't really line up very well. But without further ado, let's get into this. First things first on the agenda, teams to watch. We have some returning teams, some teams that have players that we haven't seen before, and some new teams in the league this year. I believe we have 41 teams at the moment, and let's start off with some teams to watch. My team to watch will be UH Premier. The Cougs out of Houston got top 4 last season, but they have lost Hoishi. Don't worry though, Riles is back and ready to bring this team to glory once again. You've got Riles in the goal box. Remco, Cryptic, and Schmo back at it again. I'm hoping that they can get at least top 4 this season, but who knows? I'm just interested to see if they do as well as they did last season with this new roster. That's who I'm thinking will be the team to watch for myself. K-Bot, do you have a team to watch?
Oh, worth noting. I think I has probably improved a decent bit since the end of the last season as well. The Bozovic kind of popped off like in December, right? Or like late November, early December, when things were starting to wrap up. So that'll be a team to look out for. Dylan, I feel like we'd be remiss to mention the fact that Waterloo is back.
Waterloo is back. They are back.
Out.
Yeah.
They skipped out on a season, but they are back. It'll be either Snake, Snake. Whoa, Streak.
Whoa.
I don't know why I said Snake. Freudian slip. And Lockoff. They found a third in order to put a team together. Streak is like the Thanos of Omega Strikers. When he shows up, he will snap, and half of the teams in the field will instantly vaporize. And so we'll see whether or not he can bring his team to victory. I expect this team, especially given by the fact that it looks like they've got a newer player coming in, I'm expecting it's going to be a little bit before they start ramping up. but I think this team could have potential once we get towards the back half of the season.
I definitely agree with you, especially with Ether there on that goal box position streak as well. They might take a minute to find their footing and stuff. I did hear in the CCL chat today that they haven't practiced a whole lot as a team before the season, but I still think that they can make playoffs.
Waterloo.
Hey, up top, up top here. Borg, is there a team that tickles your fancy this season?
Yeah. So, honestly, I mean, there are actually a couple of teams that when I was looking at some earlier that I think, definitely do tickle my fancy. I think if K-Bot didn't say it, I would say Streak for sure. He's been a lot of I've actually been excited to see him come back and play in any sort of fashion and see what he can do with two, I guess, not new players, but, like mid to up, kind of not quite breaking that top tier level players, I'd say. And also whether he actually, tries. I think that's pretty interesting. But enough of that. I'll kind of say another one in general. Honestly, you said Snake earlier. I think UTD, the new one with Snake on it, that seems a bit nasty. I mean, UTD's always been pretty good with Blue Blazing, but now you just have Snake, who's probably the top two. Some might even say the best brawler player in North America. Some might say the entire world. Not to hype him up too much, but I mean, this guy is kind of just insane. And let's see if he can work well with UTD and see if they can, take another title. See what's going on here.
Absolutely. UTD locking back in, reloading. Blue Blazing is now more of a managerial position, coaching position. Snake coming in, 2-time Odyssey event winner, by the way, Pro League and Debut Cup. So, the possibilities are endless for this team, and I'm very eagerly awaiting what UTD can do. 3Z Breezy, what team are you looking at this season?
Hey, my boys, Longhorn Gaming. All right, Hook 'em Horns, Longhorn Gaming, gonna be up and coming. All right, they may have taken down UTD recently. I'm sure we'll talk about that later, but very good squad there. Know them pretty well. Solid roster. So they're gonna go far this season. I can feel it.
Very solid roster. They did a great job in the Surplus Invitational as well. Nikki on that team, my goodness, slices and dices like it's nobody's business. Maple Leaf holding it down in goal. Flambeau doing his thing. This roster, I think, could potentially be a sleeper dark horse team in the CCL. So it's going to be a very fun roster to watch for this upcoming season. All right, let's move on along here. We're going to talk about our top 10. All right, our top 10, I believe 3Z's got his top 10 ready to go. I've got my top 10 ready to go. I'll start us off here. All right, First things first, the Lakeland Catfish. Yes, the Lakeland University Muskies that we saw last season have a new name, the Lakeland Catfish, and I think that they are the #1 overall team right now. Come on, they won the league last season. They finally defeated that curse in their collegiate journey, and they're on to title defense. Did you guys see the rings, the national championship rings that they got for winning last year?
I did just see those.
They
look
are
pretty sweet.
Tough. I am flabbergasted that is a thing, and that is amazing. So when I see Soren and Phoenix, I'm going to need to, look at that bad boy. Look at that bling,
he's gonna bring it.
He's going to be wearing it during the EKC run. It's going to happen. So I'm
going to be on the plane
it.
showing it to the flight attendants.
What would you like to drink, sir? Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe some wine, some champagne. It's gonna get the nice treatment up there in the sky. Number 2, UT Dallas. Losing Blue Blazing is one thing, but reloading with Snake is a whole different option. I think this team is a title contender, a potential dynasty in the making. And this team looks a little scary from what I've seen from scrims and from practices with them. So I'm going to keep them as a lock at number 2. Number 3 has got to be SLU, in my opinion. They got third this past season. That team is fired up and ready to go. Coin, Trademark, and Zorro took the loss. Didn't take the loss lightly. They have a fire underneath them now, and they want to win this spring. And I think I think they have a good shot at making it happen. Number 4, GMU. GMU had a surprising run throughout last year's tournament. I think that they used that momentum that they had in the playoffs and regain and recontrol from there. Number 5, UCLA, 3Z Breezy and Co. Y'all are going to do amazing. I mean, Water Fury has done amazing as well. I'm excited to see how UCLA performs. Again, another title contender there. From 6 to 10, I'm not thinking that it's a title contender. More like they're going to make some noise in the playoffs here. I think St. Clair is coming back here as I believe the only Canadian team. Actually, sorry, my bad. Waterloo exists now. My bad. But again, the only other returning Canadian team from last season here, St. Clair Saints, are going to do some damage. They are very, very fired up for this season. It's going to be fun. We had to say goodbye to you, Alberta. Unfortunately, everybody graduating, man. You know, that's the hardest part about it. But I think St. Clair is a firm at number 6. At number 7, I'm going with RIT. They have the same roster as last season here. You got Beepo, Male Monith. You've got Crimbus as well, and Molluscoid on the bench. And if Molluscoid is on the bench, they're cooking something over there at RIT. So they're a lock at number 7. Number 8 is UH Premier. And if they had Hoishi, I think they would be around the top 5 scenario here, but again, that was my team to watch. Ryle's coming back, an absolute Lanimal, a demon on the sticks. I think they're going to do pretty well this season and try to compete for a title here. I still don't think it'll happen, but I'm not doubting them at all. NJIT is number 9. You can never really count them out, especially with Mirameg on that roster. And then at number 10, Longhorn Gaming. I am a believer now. I have huffed the copium, and Longhorn Gaming is going to be knocking on the door with UTD and UH to run the state of Texas. And honorable mention as well to Wake Forest, and I want to see what they could do as well. K-Bot, who's your top 10?
I will run through what I've got here, Dylan. I think we agreed on a grand total of 2 out of the 10.
That's fair.
So mine looks quite different. For starters, I will put Lakeland number 1. All right, fine. I think everyone's doubted Lakeland at the beginning of a collegiate event. Like,
Threezy's shaking his head, though.
And finally, it's time to not doubt Lakeland, I think.
Yeah.
It's time to give them the benefit of the doubt, and I will. I won't keep yapping at Soren just to him mad. I will put UCLA at number 2, though, Threezy. So
okay.
I'll give you some credit there.
I'm down for that.
Water Fury is now Challenger. You remember when it was like, oh, little Water Fury's coming along. We recruited a player that happens to come on. This guy's been grinding the queues in 2024, and he is now up there at Challenger. I think he's only going to continue improving, especially with the degree that Gramella's been popping off lately. I think this roster is something to be looking out for, and I would not be surprised to see them win it all come the end of the season, especially if they continue their current trajectory. UTD comments, I have it 3. I don't trust the roster as much as I do UCLA. I know Snake coming in is going to be a buff, but it feels like I don't know. We'll see whether or not this roster actually gels together. But I just have more faith at UCLA right now. SLU, I have 4. Very old, reliable, very hard to root against them. Number 5, I have GMU. So I do have GMU pretty high up as well. I am excited to see what they're going to come in with this season because I imagine they are hungry. They want to prove themselves, especially among the likes of the top 5 of the league here. And so I am going to be very excited. I know Hamstercrest will be continuing to work with that team, I have to imagine, to get them up to snuff. And I know they've certainly had time to practice, think through things and what they're doing. Number 6, I have Wake Forest, which is a team that made a deeper run in playoffs last year. And so they're coming together. And I was just going back and listening to it. At the end of day 1, Wake Forest was potentially going to beat almost Lakeland. And I was like, no one actually talked about this team at all. We talked about them at the beginning of the season a little bit. We didn't talk about them during the pre-show for that playoffs broadcast one bit. So I think I'm going to put Wake Forest up there. Number 7, I have Rutgers Black. This is a team that has also been grinding the queues as of late. And the reason I have them this high is because I notice so often when it comes down to these collegiate matches, you look at the core strikes. Sir Red Panda is still up there, but most notable to me is Fame Time, who is now up to Omega, has grinded back up there. Was Challenger last summer, kind of decayed a little bit, didn't play all that much, and now is right back up to Challenger. Omega. I imagine Fame Time is going to be in form with the rest of the Rutgers Black team. I have UH Premier at number 8, which is the second. I agree with you, Dylan.
Thank you.
Despite having some other teams there. I think it'll be interesting to see how that team comes together, as you mentioned. And then I have 9 and 10 as NJIT and St. Clair. These are the teams that also placed about this place in the playoffs last season. And I think they are more likely to be more consistent, especially right now at the early part of the season. But I have to give the honorable mentions to Longhorn Gaming, because it sounds like stocks are high. I haven't seen them play. And I was looking at their core strikes, and I think they could probably get into the top 10. And Waterloo, I would put at number 12 right now, because I don't trust them yet, but we'll see how much they improve towards the end of the season.
Very, very good insight here, K-Bot. Love that you're backing it up with those core strikes as well. Borg, who are you looking at right now as our other pro player here on the desk?
So, I've been looking at the teams. Didn't know I needed a top 10, so I came up with one just now. That's what I've been scribbling along here. Noticed myself changing around some stuff as I kind of listed out teams, realizing there's honestly some pretty good teams here, like not even just in collegiate standards, like just in general. I think a lot of really good players, some people that have been grinding solo queue lately. So I'll go from 10 to 1, because you guys went from 1 to 10. Okay. I want to save the heavy hitters for last. Number 10, I think you just talked about it a little bit, K-Bot, Rutgers Black. One thing that caught my radar, I haven't seen Sir Red Panda play in a while, but like you said, Fame Time, I've seen that guy in the queues grinding like every single day. And just overall, I think if Sir Red Panda does play, or has been playing a little bit and I just haven't seen it, I think pretty solid goalie, good Atlas. So excited to see what they can do. Number 9, I had a Saints Academy with Shiro Isu, Storm, TFT, and Embered, and I believe they have a sub as well. I know both those players, Shiro and Storm, if they are grinding, are pretty decent. They're pretty good overall. So I don't see them going too deep or going anything too crazy, but maybe they can surprise me. Definitely have a couple interesting, I guess, strategies they could probably do. So a little bit there. Number 8, let's see. I had where is it right here? NJIT with the Mirror Meg. Honestly, I think this team could do a lot better than 8. I put them at 8 just because I'm not really sure. I haven't played with the other players on that team as much. Mirror Meg, obviously a beast. I'm legally not allowed to doubt him anymore. No's no.
Well, there you go.
But I have him at 8 just in case. I mean, we'll see. The only reason I have it at 8, even though Mirror Meg is a beast, is that Brawler is weak and they can't carry anything. So who knows? Maybe they'll pop off. Maybe they won't. It depends on the rest of the team. Number 7, I have Waterloo. I think Streak could be number 1, but it depends on the rest of the team, right? Can he actually mold these guys into a pretty solid team? We'll have to see on that. Not really too much to say. I mean, streak. So there you go. Number 6, I'm going a little spicy here. I have SLU at 6.
Ooh.
Reason being
okay.
is because they failed miserably.
Failed?
Yeah, they failed miserably in my eyes.
Okay.
How did they fail? They didn't win?
They got 3rd and they didn't win.
They got 3rd and they didn't win. And I wanted them to win because I helped them one time. So they didn't win. They let down the Vaughn coaching. I think that coming into here...
No. Correction. They let down the Vaughn and Borg coaching.
I'm basically lying. I helped them one time. I'm yapping right now.
I know you're yapping, but...
Point being is I thought it'd be funny to put them at 6, and if they win, that'd be cool. But honestly, I think some of these other teams are looking scary. I'm going to be real, and that's the actual reason I put them at 6. Number 5, I actually have Wake Forest. Not really, honestly, too much to say here. I wish I could yap more about them, but I just believe in them. Jumper's honestly a beast. And then Appall Me, or I love whatever game they love currently. Love to see them both back together. They beat me that one time in the tournament forever ago. But, I mean, normally they're just pretty beast players, and they play really well together. So I'm excited to see them possibly make a pretty deep run into this season and in playoffs. But, again, another question mark because they might just get outclassed by some of these other players who have been grinding the game a lot more recently. Which, number 4... hey, GMU, baby. Number 4, okay. GMU. I can agree with you there. I can agree with you there, Dylan. Spartan, Wiggly, Wobbly, Vega, all all like pretty good players. And when you got pretty good players that like each other and can play well together, it goes a lot better than just like one or two like decent to like star players playing on the same roster normally. So I believe in them. I did see a little bit from them last season. I really liked them. I liked the hype behind them a little bit. So I hope that they will do well. Number 3, just like my Wizard 101 friends out there, Gume, shout out to you. Lakeland's at number 3 here.
Okay.
Not really too much more to say on that. Knowers will know that one. But Lakeland, you had your time. It was last season, no longer.
Wow. Okay.
Number 2, I got UTD. I would have put them at number 1, but Snake Brawler is weak. I don't think that they can carry. And number 1, baby, I think 3. It's UCLA. I mean, come on, guys.
Wow. Wow. Inspired.
Last season, I think Gramella was so focused on his studies, and Water Fury, just a fledgling to the game, very, very new. But now Water Fury, an absolute beast, as everyone's been saying. He's been grinding the game like crazy, which is insane that you'd still grind the game right now. But he really cares to get better, wants to help out Gramella and 3Z finally get a title to their name. And I'm excited to see him play. And then 3Z, obviously, I mean, no introduction. You can introduce yourself, honestly, as we lead into you here. But that's my list. That's my top 10.
Okay.
3Z, what do you got to say?
I mean, splendid analysis, Bork. A prophecy foretold. Water Fury, indeed a beast. And he's got room to improve as well, which is good. Been scrimming a little bit. He's looking very good against some NASA teams, so definitely up to that level. Sure. So as far as my top 10 goes, I've got Wake Forest at 10. A little bit inactive, so looking to get back into the swing of things, but I think they're still a top 10 team. I have my goats Longhorn at number 9. Looked really good, pretty active, just solid squadron. Mr. Goatbo, shout out to you. Maple and Nikki. Obviously I is an amazing midfielder. If you don't ban Octavia, he can literally 1v9 any collegiate game. So, just putting that out there. NJIT, that'll be at number 6, I believe. Meg, super solid. Sero also been seeing in the queues a lot. So, definitely look out for NJIT this season. Waterloo I have at 5 because Lockoff is a player that played in beta, I believe. If it's the same player. They played a lot in beta. And I think they're a pretty good player. If it's not the same player, they shouldn't be on this list. But if it is the same player, they probably should be here. So I'm putting him in my top 10. Ether as well is a really good player. Definitely just solid diamond Chally level player. And then obviously Streak, his weakest role being brawler. But it'll be interesting to see him compete with some other forwards this season. At 5, I have, do I have 11 teams? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, you
okay,
do.
So Waterloo was.
So you were at NJIT at 7. We skipped up to Waterloo at 5.
NJIT was 7, but I said they were 6. Okay.
Yes.
No, never mind. We're good. So Waterloo was 6. Okay, so GMU is 5. Basically what Borg said. Those guys are their chemistry is really good. I've been around them for a long time. Super cool guys. Really good at the game. And if they've improved from last season, they're gonna be looking good for this season. Slew I have at 4. A little bit inactive, but Zoro playing in NASA, getting a lot of good reps in. That he's gonna be looking good for collegiate. And goalie is probably the strongest role in collegiate. Goalie midfield, take your pick. But yeah, I mean Slew's gonna be looking good. Have them at 4. Behind Lakeland, who I have at number 3, because I'm gonna give them respect. They won last season, but I'm gonna put them at 3 because they don't have more than one Pro League Omega level pro player on their team, and the 2 teams above them kind of do. Windowge on UTD a little bit more inactive recently. Haven't seen him in a while, but still nonetheless an Omega Pro League level player alongside Snake. So that team is going to be scary. Questions about the goalie role. Amarats, whether he's been active or not, whether it's going to be Blue Blazing or someone else playing goalie, not sure what's going to happen there, but still have him at 2. And then, of course, UCLA going to be number 1, soon Dubley.
Okay. Right. All right. Yeah, so 2 votes for UCLA, and now I'm not feeling as bad. If UCLA wins it all this year, they played Texas Tech first, so
It
Fair
has to
game.
start somewhere.
It has to start somewhere.
It has to start somewhere.
All runs through Lubbock. I'm telling y'all, it all runs through Lubbock.
Right.
Anyway,
Hey, Texas Tech was my number
Hey,
11.
bottom.
the Texas Tech was your number 11. Let's go.
Yep, they were my number 11.
There we go. The Texas
getting
Bias Alarm
ridiculous.
returns.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Woo.
We're going to make some t-shirts that have like Texas Bias on it.
Ooh,
with
sell 'em
K-Bot's
in
face.
Phoenix.
Sell 'em in Phoenix. I could do that.
I'll buy one.
Heck yeah, let's do it. All right, I've got a good distributor, so we can definitely make that happen. Anyway, let's get right into the meat of the show here, our picks. And the way Swiss works, especially in this tournament, it's just going to sort of mash together some teams, and there's probably going to be a few blowouts. So that's okay. As the weeks go on, you're going to start seeing these 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 teams going up against each other, and the matchups will get a little closer and closer each time. So for this week, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matchups to talk about. And the first one on the table right now is Lakeland Catfish versus Auburn Esports B. K-Bot, what are you thinking?
I said it at the top of the show, or no, I guess not at the top of the show, about halfway through the show. I do think Lakeland right now, you shouldn't doubt them. Give me Lakeland here. This one will probably be a good warm-up victory for them to de-rust.
There you go, Borg.
Yeah, I'm looking at Auburn Esports B, and I think they might have a pretty good shot against Lakeland right now, but Viper on crit, Chaos Flare 3, FG Nation. I mean,
this has to be a prank on Soren, right? That
Look,
has to be a prank on Soren.
Pretty good shot. It's crazy.
I just think everyone's gonna be talking about Lakeland lists, Lakeland that. They don't need any more believers. They need some doubters, and look, I won't say that they're gonna lose, but I just think Auburn Esports B, I think they deserve a shout out. I think that they could do well. They joined the league, let's give them a shot here, guys. Come on.
Facts.
Come on.
Facts. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. 3Z.
Yeah, I mean, I would be remiss to not name Lakeland the winner of this match, probably. But yeah, I mean, Auburn Esports B. Looking forward to seeing where you guys go this season. Tough match for week 1, but hey, gotta learn from it.
Got to learn from it. That's so true. I'm also going with Lakeland Catfish here, but I've got to give some creds to Auburn. They have assembled 2 teams more than last season, and Ram Splooge taken over the head coaching position from Tiger Slasher. Got to commend them in Auburn, but you're going up against the reigning national champions. Will it end up like a Louisiana Monroe beating Alabama type beat? It might. You never know. But I'm still going with Lakeland here. I'm pretty confident in the national champions. Let's move on. George Mason versus Rutgers Esports Red. This is Rutgers B team versus George Mason. K-Bot, what do you think?
I would be very interested to watch a GMU versus Rutgers Black at the beginning of the season, but unfortunately we do not get that match. It's going to be GMU here, no contest. I'm sure they're going to continue to keep up kind of the hot streak that they had at the end of playoffs last year, and they're going to be coming in here hungry for even more this season. It'll be the Patriots.
All right, Borg, he's putting on the sweatband.
Yeah, as you can see by my colors here, you know what they would call me, right? A patriot. It's repping my colors here.
Amen.
GMU, baby.
GMU. All right.
All the way.
I like it. 3Z.
Yeah, I mean, those are my guys. GMU is going to take this one. But yeah, once again, if you're Rutgers Esports Red, you like playing a top 10 seeded or top 10 rated team, top 10 ranked team this week, because you get to ball review that game, you get to look at that game, and it gives you just so much more. Have to play a good team week 1.
I totally agree. Here. I think Rutgers Red, the way that they beat GMU here, this is your strategy. Find Vega's Spotify account, delete every Skrillex track off of it, and then practice very, very hard. Without Skrillex, Vega is like nothing. All right, so you gotta get the Skrillex off of the playlist. First things first. I don't think that'll happen though. I'm pretty sure Vega's a smart guy. Keeping the two-factor authentication and a very nice long password. So I think GMU takes this one this week. Let's go over. We've got St. Clair versus Stockton. St. Clair, a top 7 team in the playoffs. Stockton, a big name from Beta, coming back into the CCL for the second year. K-Bot, who do you think gets this one?
I think it's gonna have to be St. Clair again. Look, the numbers don't lie, the core strikes don't lie, and generally, I hate to say it, but when there's a weak link, the team doesn't do as well as when there isn't one. I think St. Clair is going to be the better overall team in all roles, and they'll be able to take this one, starting their season off right with a W.
Like to hear that, Borg.
You know, I did put St. Clair as my number 9, I believe, but I see my boy Garbanzo on Stockton. I can't be betting. I mean, this guy's insane. I think Stockton upset victory on this first one, wakes up St. Clair, excuse me, wakes up St. Clair a little bit. You know, Shiraisu Storm, you know, decide to actually download the game again, play it on the weekday, maybe a couple times, and then they start getting up to that top 10 status. That's what I think is going to happen.
All right. I like these gutsy predictions, Borg. I'm loving it. I'm loving it a lot.
If there's anything that I am, it's gutsy.
It's gutsy predictions.
So true. 3Z, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm currently searching up that one guy's core strike. Let's take a look. If this person has played the game, then this could go Stockton's way. Acorn and Garbanzo, we were kind of hyping him up last season. Vaughn kind of stoked a lot of his takes on the fact that those two players were pretty good. But fortunately, that one guy logging in a whopping 0 games of ranked. So, yeah, we're going to have to give this one to St. Clair.
St. Clair Saints.
Borg, how are you feeling?
Get those games.
Hey, don't sleep on that one guy.
Don't sleep on that one guy.
Norm's players. Gotta watch out for them.
I've lost a couple Norms games before to some top minus 10,000 core strikes. I mean, there's some demons out there, guys. Don't sleep on them. There's some demons.
You never know.
You never know. I'm also gonna have to agree going with the Saints here. I mean, they're looking to get past what they did last season. They're trying to progress. I mean, they're a top 10 team in pretty much everybody's book here. I think they win this one. But Stockton shocked the world, and I will be singing your praises next week right here on this desk here. Next up, we've got Longhorn Gaming versus a brand new team, NJCU Smash players. It seems like a few of the Smash players at NJCU are getting into some Omega Strikers action versus Longhorn Gaming in Austin. K-Bot, who do you think takes this one?
Good to see more Nintendo game representation come through. And there is a history of Smash players being pretty decent at Omega Strikers, but this one's going to have to go to Longhorns. Look, you can't come in here and try to go up against a team. We've been thinking that Longhorn are kind of sitting on that bubble right around the, top 10 probably mark. I think they're going to look pretty strong. Dylan, I believe you just hosted an event that they just won.
Yep.
So they are certainly practiced. They are certainly in form. I think it's going to be very difficult to upset this team in week 1 with a new team coming into the league. Although I am very excited to see what NGCU might bring to the table.
I like it. Borg?
Really, this one just comes... I mean, Longhorn obviously have the advantage here for sure. But you guys are forgetting one very important aspect here is that the Smash players could just use GameCube controllers. You know what I mean?
True.
You're so right.
And if they use GameCube controllers and don't use MOBA or WASD keybinds, if they're using these GameCube controllers, I think that they could wave dash their way to victory here.
How real is that?
So real.
And also, Just Logan is kind of a beast. I'm gonna be real. I mean, this guy's been grinding like crazy. So, I mean, they think they have a shot, but let's not be too crazy here. I'll keep that little craziness aside for this one. Longhorn, I think, are gonna take it.
Gotcha. 3Z, I'm pretty sure I know your answer here.
Yeah, it's gonna be Longhorn Gaming. I mean, I'm rooting so hard for those guys. Just Logan 59, not the Just Logan that you know from NASA or from
the really?
Westy Draft League.
I thought it was the same person.
It's a different Just Logan.
But there's no way.
Probably a different person, but
IGN
still
and
a beast.
Different too.
Still a beast. Okay, still a beast. Looks like a new player with a lot of potential. Already in Diamond with like a 66% win rate. That's pretty good.
I thought that was just a swerve.
You You almost don't make the cut for OSAS with that level win rate. So hey, that's pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give this one to Longhorn Gaming. Watch out for NJCU to scale though. Sure, they have the gamer gene.
Yep. I've got to agree here. I mean, NJCU, happy to have you in the league. I would love to see you guys make a run this season, but it's going to be Longhorn Gaming. You guys got a really bad pick in Swiss there. The Swiss gods were not smiling upon you this day, but I think Longhorn Gaming takes it. I'm very biased right now because they just won my event, so I'm kind of on the Longhorn Gaming train right now.
I can't call you out for this one, Dylan, because we're all picking Longhorns.
We're all picking Longhorn. That's fine. Normally, I would be like, okay, horns down, blah blah blah. Ooh, but we beat them in basketball, so I'm chilling out with the
one
Longhorn
next team that Dylan is not a fan of.
Exactly. You know, the one university that I just despise. But look, their Omega Strikers program, Their esports program, they You know, they're okay. They're chill. It's all good. All right, so moving on here, we're going to go back to New Jersey. Rutgers Black versus Ole Miss Esports. Ole Miss participating as well in the Surplus Texas Invitational, facing off against SAGU in the opening round. I believe they got fifth place. They got fifth place alongside Tulsa, but they had a pretty good run there in the Surplus Texas Invitational. K-Bot, what are you thinking? What are you thinking here?
I have been hyping up Rutgers Black all day, and I'm going to have to stick with them here. I do think they're the team that looks like they're going to be more in form, and I imagine if one or two players wants to take this one seriously, they're going to bring along the third pretty quickly. They might not be in full form yet, but I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. I don't think Ole Miss will have the energy to respond. Give me Rutgers here.
Borg.
Yeah, I've been brainstorming right now for the last 2 minutes, I'd say. And I really just can't think of any BS to say right now. So I'm just going to put Rutgers Black. Obviously, I just look at the core strikes don't lie. K-Bot loves to say that for some reason.
They don't.
So I'll have to agree with him here. They don't lie. And there's I just recognize all the players on there. I've seen them play. I think they're pretty decent. Don't really recognize any of the Ole Miss ones. No crazy funny names, that I can kind of write off of here either. So gotta go with Rutgers Black for me.
Just Logan alternate accounts there.
Well, I just thought that was actually just Logan. That was just my bad.
I also did too.
Yeah.
I was pinging them to set up stream stuff, and I pinged just Logan, but not the other just Logan. So,
yeah.
Whoops, it's fine. It's okay.
That sucks.
So, yeah, my bad, just Logan. Sorry that I pinged you so many times today. 3Z, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, again, probably going to give this one to Rutgers Esports Black. The team with just a lot more experience at a higher level. Ole Miss is a veteran of the Omega Strikers scene, but in terms of playtime and experience with the game, it's not going to really match Rutgers, so I'm going to give it to Rutgers.
I'm also going to have to give it to Rutgers here. It just makes too much sense. I mean, I love Ole Miss. Yachty is doing great stuff over there. And it is Ryan Rigney's alma mater team, so, there might be something with that. No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be Rutgers Black, but I wish Ole Miss the best.
You think Odyssey's going to hack the servers to get Ole Miss in?
Ole Miss is just going to get thrown onto Denver or something, and then there you go. Right. I've got no idea. Something like that, but that's a conspiracy theory that we'll visit another day. Finally, the match that we've all been waiting for. A lot of people have been looking at the matches and are circling this one on their calendar. I can confirm it is being broadcast right here on Striker Central at 9:30 p.m. EST. It is UTD versus Waterloo. The old Titans of Canada coming back, knocking on the door, potentially trying to early upset UTD this season. K-Bot, this might be dividing the desk. What do you think?
So I think, for starters, this is going to be a match that we will want to see replayed every week. And because I think we're going to constantly come back to who's going to be better, UTD versus Waterloo, especially as we get later on in the season. Once Waterloo scale, I think they need to de-rust. I think UTD is the team that's going to be in better shape in week 1. So I have to give this to UTD. But I am very curious and interested to see what Waterloo is going to look like, especially later on in the season. But they will probably get knocked down here in round 1.
All right, Borg, what do you think?
I got the smiles on right now. I'm going to say something crazy.
Okay.
literally exactly what K-Bot says, but the opposite here. I think that this Windoge guy and this Amarats guy, Rusty, I haven't seen them in 5 years.
5
Snake's
years?
playing Brawler, cannot carry. Ignore that Streak is
Four.
also playing Brawler.
Oh, no.
Streak is playing Brawler.
Ignore that Streak's
What do you mean,
also
don't
playing Brawler.
ignore that?
Look, listen. Streak's not playing Brawler. He's playing probably Zentaro midfield. Like that, he's just gonna play midfield as a Brawler character and somehow win. I mean, look, if anything crazy is gonna happen here, I think it's gonna be now. I think that I'm gonna be real. I think Blue Blazing held the team together.
Wow.
Because every time, I mean, I was in the voice comms for a bit. I coached them. I was their impromptu coach at CCC, UTD, right? And without Blue Blazing's rally call, I really think they're gonna slowly fall down until Snake can kind of pick up that torch, right? I mean, Snake doesn't have a trophy in the back of his room, right? I mean, how is he gonna command as much authority and presence as Blue Blazing?
Pro League champion?
Yeah, but he doesn't have the physical trophy.
The physical,
like the literal,
the actual,
like the one that would be like right there for like Blue Blazing that he always talks about. He doesn't have.
Right? Yeah, that's how real is that?
So
Holy.
I think that if there's any time for them to lose, it's actually going to be right now. I think Streak might take him by surprise here.
All right, so 1 vote for UTD, 1 vote for Waterloo. 3Z, what do you think?
Yeah. So I'm gonna give kind of like a little bit of a detailed analysis here. You guys kind of broke into it a little bit. Amarats hasn't played a ranked game since November. Windoge hasn't played a ranked game on either account since halfway through December. Blue Blazing played like maybe 2 or 3 ranked games since the new year. So Snake really is the only active player on this roster. Who knows? Maybe they've been scrimming. Probably not. You know that Demons Raw never scrim. Snake is on that team. That means this team probably hasn't scrimmed either. On the other hand, right, you have Waterloo, and if Streak, Borg hinted at earlier, if Streak wants to win something this season, he's going to have these guys ready and in form. Ether, an active player, has played a lot of ranked games. You can check their core strike. Lockoff, Beta Demon, has been confirmed that it is the same player. Been kind of getting the reps in recently. Obviously not a super high rank yet. But I think any game with Streak is winnable, and I think if they don't scrim, UTD could easily lose this one. I'm going to give this one to Waterloo.
Okay. All right. Well, look. K-Bot, you might have to start up the sirens, but hold while you do that, okay? Hold before you do that. Blue Blazing, not on UTD. I agree. He is the glue that holds that team together. Snake, great player. I don't know if Blue Blazing not being there is going to be good or bad. And I'm thinking it might be a little bad. You know, Blue Blazing was that big fire, that passion that team had, and pumped them up with UTD on 3. They were talking their, strutting their stuff, talking their crap, going for it. Every single day of last season. Last season, the doubters had them lower. The doubters were real. Blue Blazing had to throw in Cloak Oak in the grand finals because he had to go do something that he couldn't get out of, and they lose in the grand finals. Of course they're going to lose in the grand finals. Blue Blazing isn't there. Now it's the exact same thing. Blue Blazing's not there. Dad is not home. He's ran off and got the milk. Now look, Waterloo is a amazing team on paper. They have a huge advantage from being in the beta collegiate scene here. But look, Streak he's not playing goalie. Lockoff's playing the goalie. Lockoff is a beta legend, but he has not played the game. Come on, man. What are you talking about? And then Streak is playing Brawler now. Okay, sure, maybe Zentaro midfield. That's great and all, but that's not what he's signed up to do. Ether's great. I love Ether. Ether was actually the reasoning why these two players came back and are playing in this season right now. Ether is the fire that this team has, and I think that fire will translate well into this game. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be a very, very close one. Both teams have their positives and negatives since last season. But start those damn sirens up, K-Bot. It is a UTD sweep, baby. I'm telling you right now, they are coming back. And this is the first match that they could ever have. If they were going up against, a Texas State or Kennesaw or the Omega Rocks of Slippery Rock University, sure, yeah, whatever. They're going up against Waterloo. That is a challenge off week 1, and I wish them the best.
Dylan, I hate to say this, but I hate that the 2 Pro League players are picking the other team, and the 2 of us are stuck here yapping for UTD. That's not a good look for the 2 of us.
Not a good look.
We'll see what ends up being right.
Well, we will end up and see who's right and who's wrong. But, I trust everyone's judgment. I mean, there's a reason why everybody's on this desk right now. We all know, or we all yap. And it's one of the 2. And hopefully we're knowers or we're yappers. And you don't want to be a yapper, right?
Speaking of yappers, we need to add up the tally of predictions from last season.
We do. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go pour over the old VODs and figure that out. We'll have that for next
get like
one.
a predictions wrong counter right
predictions
here for me.
Wrong.
Just right now. Let's just get that going right now.
We'll get that happening. Yeah. I'll get something in the back that's like days since Borg has not predicted
Had
correctly. And
right.
always
I'll get
0.
some good ones. I'll get some ones right. The the plus is gonna hit at some point, guys. If you know betting, you got to bet on the underdog at some point.
You're gonna hit the over at some point.
If you bet every single time, then it's bound to happen.
Right.
I mean, either way, this match UTD Waterloo is going to be amazing. I can't wait to cast that one. It's going to be a great one. K-Bot predictions win percent for Nassel versus CCL would go hard. Yeah, we should do.
That's what I'm saying.
We should do that.
Hey,
Achi.
My
Achi's
Nassel
call, by the way.
predictions
Hi,
were
Achi.
on point. I called Core Overflow over Sad Boys. I'm just saying. I also called Light in Season 2.
There's credibility
Every once
there.
in a while I get one wrong, but
There's credibility
I
there,
feel pretty
though.
good with these things.
Yeah. Well, we'll see who wins and who loses, who gets the best of the best here next week. But we're going to go right into our weekly slate of games here. I think Vaughn has a message for us from Japan. We'll play that as soon as we go off. And gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out, and good luck this season. And we'll see you again next week, 4 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Is it noon? Noon Pacific? Yes, noon Pacific. No.
What?
5 p.m.
No.
5 p.m. 1 p.m. 5,
What?
4, 3, 5 to 2. 5 to 2.
Dylan,
5 to
it's
2.
3 hours.
I don't know math, brother. All right? I have a journalism degree. I can't add or subtract. I am a 25-year-old man who doesn't know math. It's okay. It's fine.
Single-digit numbers. It's time.
Okay,
that is
fine.
not math, Dylan.
5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on Striker Central. Make sure to go follow our TikTok and our Twitter as well, CCL_OS. We've got brand new stuff for that. We're going to be doing a bunch of content. Syntax is in the kitchen cooking right now. So stay tuned to that. All right, I'm going to stop yapping. Catch y'all next week. Adios.
Hey guys, it's Vaughn in Japan, joined by my guest star, my sister. Say hi, Jane.
Hi.
And we're waiting outside the Tokyo Dome for our Taylor Swift concert. So while we were waiting, I figured what better way to pass the time than talk about CCL. So, Jane,
Yeah.
currently the map pool for CCL is Amy Zapp, On City, Atlas Lab, Clarion Corp, Demon Deus, Taiko Temple, and Oni Village. Now, last season we saw a lot of Night Market, a lot of Atlas Lab, but since CCL has ended, we have the new map, Taiko Temple. How do you think teams are going to be playing around Taiko Temple this season?
Well, I mean, if you've got a lot of Taiko around, I'm assuming the ball is gonna ricochet off.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of obstacles, making
Yes.
an exciting chorus of drum-like sounds.
Yes.
It's gonna be a challenge getting your voice chat through all the echo that I'm
That
assuming
is
the
so
drums are
real.
gonna have.
That is real. That's a real problem you can have. Now, map picks aside, Jane and I have been hard at work analyzing the match of the week for CCL, so we wanted to come to you as the Humberdinck siblings with our own opinions. Now, Jane, of course you know our number one featured match is our returning champions, Lakeland University, of course, LLC, with Soren as the captain, Eminent Mouse and E.T. Han versus Auburn. What do you think their chances are?
Well, I mean, Auburn's lineup is pretty promising at this point, so they might actually have a chance. But bringing back the same roster, I mean,
Yeah.
Soren's a powerhouse. They might.
That is so real.
Like, I'd still probably put my money on, Lakeside, but you gotta root for the underdog. Go Auburn.
Of course. We're horizontal now with the full CCL Humberdinck desk. We've got Vaughn, Homer, Shizuka, and What's your Twitch? I forgot what's your Twitch.
Mama Vaughn.
Mama Vaughn. Okay, so for the most important match of the week, we have UTD, infamous roster. UTD actually has, some say should have won last season, got second place, but had that unfortunate grand finals incident where they had to sub out one of their star players versus University of Waterloo, the Canadian powerhouse that we haven't seen since beta, with Streak, my personal bracket boogeyman, returning to collegiate. I'm curious what we think about whether Waterloo or UTD down in Texas with the addition of Snake, winner of the Dubu Cup. How is that matchup going to look, guys? Who wants to kick that off?
I mean, they're facing their Waterloo, right? They've got to go in being cautious.
No, they don't need to be cautious. The Canadians are going to take it, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to just own the whole match.
No, I'm saying they need to be cautious of the Canadians.
All right.
Oh.
See, I feel
Well,
like
here the crazy part is Streak on Waterloo and Snake on UTD team together for Sad Boy's first ever loss. Way back in the Omega Strikers Pro League Invitational in July. So these two players are some of the top tier competition.
I mean, you've got to be top tier competition if you're going to take down the Sad Boys.
That is so real.
Yes.
That is so real. Now, Mom,
We're still trying to recover from that.
the Sad Boys fan base has been in shambles.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm curious, as you've watched the most OS, UTD or Waterloo, who do you have?
It feels like
You gotta speak up.
It feels like
Our shit's
our
ready.
stuff's
Let's
ready.
fucking
It
go.
feels like we're all kind of leaning towards the Waterloo, and I guess I will too, if only for the fact that they've been lying low. Nobody knows how to play against them.
So real.
So
Hang in there, UTD.
I don't know. UTD probably is going to pull it out, but they might get surprised by Waterloo. That's where I'm going to leave it.
I see. I'm gonna put my faith in UTD. I think they had a big wake-up call in the most recent Texas Invitational. They look really shaky. I'm really hoping that's the same team. I'm not exactly entirely sure on the acronym, but I think this is the same team. I think they're gonna take it seriously after having a terrible showing by their standards. I think they're gonna come out swinging. I don't think Waterloo is gonna have the week one. I don't think they're gonna be as practiced as they need to be, but. All right. This is Vaughn. Happy and welcoming back everyone to CCL Season 2. Hope everyone has a great week one. I'm looking forward to returning after my trip in Japan, watching all the games, being on the desk with the homies. And don't go anywhere because we have a special surprise that you might not see anywhere else in OS. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.